Here's something exciting. The Pacific, brand new from Techo-Bloc this year. A first time ever producing an 1 3/16 or 30 millimeter product in a coping and a 3-piece slab product. Now, how is it relevant? It's on page 69 of your catalog and page 231 of your spec book, but how is it relevant? Let's look back to the 2000s. In the 2000s, almost 200,000 pools were built, brand new pools. That's a big number. What happened in late 2000s? Let's say 2008 or 9. What do we call it? The Great Recession. Yeah. So that number dropped precipitously, 75% reduction. But let's look at the aggregate number. Let's look at the whole number. 250,000 new pools were put in over the last 20 years. So how does that affect us, Rick?
They're coming up on renovation. The average life cycle for these pools, concrete and gunite, 25 years. Liner pools, 10 to 15. That's pretty generous, probably more like 7 to 10. And waterline and tile coping pools, 15 to 20 years.
And now we have the opportunity to take of every single dollar spent on pools, 65 cents of it. We get to get 65 cents of every, even if you're not in the pool business, we have access to 65% of every dollar spent on pools because they're spent renovating those pools. And now with an 1 3/16 product, a reno or renovation product, we can now build corners. You can see this on page 8 of your book. We can take, you know what, Rick, let's just show them.
Let's just show them.
Yeah. Arno, put me up on the screen over here. Tell me what we're doing here, Rick.
So we have a demo set up here right now to show you guys how to correctly do concrete overlays. First, we're going to run through a mortar application when the concrete's rough. Just say you chiseled out old coping and you're replacing it. It's probably going to be up and down, going to have some humps on it.
Okay.
This other side's going to be for smooth concrete.
This is concrete.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We had an existing pool coping, and we had to remove it. When we did, I mean, it got rough.
Not very smooth.
We need to fix that. Okay. So how are we going to do that? Once we got our corner in, how are we going to continue across that bottom section?
We're going to use Type S mortar. We've got some mixed up here for you guys already.
So Type S mortar, so it's a below-grade mortar. And we're going to use these mason cords or cotton sash. Show them on camera so they can see it.
Yep, this is going to be put into that mortar bed, and this is actually for wicking moisture away from that area behind the coping. The water actually runs through this by capillary action, and we're able to keep that setting bed area dry.
And this is important because Type S mortar has an absorption rate of about 15%. I'll help you get started. About 15%. And Techo-Bloc paving stones have an absorption rate of somewhere between 3 and 3.5%. So they expand and contract, they freeze and thaw at a different rate. You're getting ahead of me there, bro. There you go. I want one all the way on the end, too. Okay. Now, when we put that coping in, let's put one in here, too, Rick. We're going to put it with a slight pitch back. I mean, a 16th, a 32nd of a bubble, just a slight pitch back. So that mason cord will help wick out some of the moisture from that mortar bed and allow it to escape so it won't expand and contract. Okay, you want me to hand you the units?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, what are you doing? You're dipping them in water right now, right?
Yeah, that's right. Show them the unit up on camera real quick, and I'll soak them and then explain what I'm doing.
Here's one of the bullnose. It's a little bit different than our standard 6x12s. This is a 4x12. And you can see the corner that we made, too. There's 6 cuts versus the 4 cuts for a corner.
Okay. So tell them why I'm dipping them in water.
You're dipping them in water because if we put them in dry, they're going to wick all the moisture out of that mortar, and we're not going to get great adhesion.
Okay. So a little mason's trick, putting them in a bucket of water. We would do the same thing if we were putting in like Avignon edge or Belgic edge or something in a permeable pavement application where we'd be mortaring it down. And again, we're using the mortar and the cotton sash because we've just removed a coping and we've just kind of torn up that concrete apron or pad that's around that pool. I'm getting you wet, aren't I, Rick?
No, that's okay. Let's put one more in there.
Okay, one more, and leave that so that they can see?
Yep.
Okay, good.
I'm going to grab my level, make sure we are all on the same plane here.
Okay. Now, if we were able to remove the coping, and let's say this is the pool out here, and this is our concrete area,
Yeah.
our preference would be what? To glue it down, right?
Yeah, we would glue it down.
Okay, and what kind of adhesive would we use?
We would use a polyurethane type adhesive.
Okay.
And we wouldn't want to wet those units beforehand because some say you can use them when they're wet, but it's better to use it when it's dry. You get a better bond. It's able to expand into the pores of that product.
Okay, and what are we using?
We're using Techo-Bloc polyurethane adhesive.
Techo-Bloc Ultra. And this is a paver square junior, so we have nice square areas we build up. Okay, go ahead. Wait a minute. How much adhesive are you going to use?
I don't know, probably about 9 inches.
Why would you use 9 inches if we have a 12-inch unit?
We want to keep 1 inch away from the face. We want to keep 1 inch away from the back.
And we want 1 inch
Overhang
of
also.
overhang. So we want a 9-inch bead of adhesive. But if we could get more adhesive, how could we do it?
We could actually put it down in a S shape.
Okay. So we could maximize the amount of adhesion that we get, still allowing it to go with the flow of water. Okay? With the flow of water.
You can see we're not damming that area up, so we're not trapping any water underneath that area.
And there are times, and you'll see them on the video, where we use too much adhesive, and we'll call it out, we'll tell you. But here's not where we want to save on adhesive, right? We want to get a good S-shaped bead. Really, that's the equivalent of 12 inches of adhesive.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Let's glue a few more down.
Okay, what do you think, 2 more?
Yeah. I don't want to go back and fix these. So let's make sure that we have that good thing. Let me get these down, and you
Get a few
can
more
get
pieces up there.
you get a couple more pieces up here. Nice thing about these Pacific copings, very lightweight, 30 millimeters or 1 3/16. They are full-nosed, right? So they have that band all the way across. You want to make sure we're nice and square here.
Yeah,
I'll get
take a
you
look.
one more. And then we'll put one more bead of adhesive up top.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay?
One more band up there.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
So now we can just start putting the pavers down, right?
Yes, we start laying the pavers.
No, we can't quite do that yet.
Why not?
Because there's 2 different types of concrete out there. You guys know what they are? Cracked and gonna crack.
Ready mixed concrete, yep.
So we need to put down a geotextile fabric on top of that area. So we have a non-woven geotextile that we're going to use for separation.
Okay? Because we're going to use a sand bed here, right?
Yes,
We
sir.
don't want to lose that sand bed as it flows with water. Now, on the lower section, where we mortared it in, what kind of sand would we use there? Because we have a little bit of space.
On that lower section, we would actually use a concrete sand, which you guys are all very familiar with, because we have a little bit of area we can build up probably about 1 inch of sand.
Okay? And what would we use on this side? Because the adhesive isn't as thick as the mortar. What kind of sand would we use in this area?
On that other side, we would use a masonry sand. It's a little bit finer, more rounder particles, and doesn't have those little pieces of gravel in it like concrete sand.
Okay.
We're able to get a skimming or a broom coat over top of that concrete.
Just as long as it's not laying. Now, this is the Techo-Bloc standard, right? Using a geotextile and a little bit of sand in an overlay, correct?
No, it's an industry standard,
It
actually.
is an industry standard, and we agree 100%. Okay, you want to show them what the pavers look like? Because there's something special about them.
This is a little bit different than the other products that we make here at Techo-Bloc. This product has no spacer bars. It's a three-piece system.
Wait. No spacer bars means it's going to chip and break during freeze thaw, right?
No, it's fine. It's not susceptible to freeze thaw. It's an overlay.
It's an overlay, so
Yeah.
it doesn't even apply. Okay, cool. So what do we need to get started here, Rick? A
give me
three-piece
2.
system.
Yep. Give me another A unit.
Okay, A unit. We call them A, B, and C, A being the smallest one.
Put these in. Now B, A, B.
C, okay, you got
B, A, B.
Yep. B, A, B. Could you call the smallest units Twinkies for me?
Yeah, I can.
Who
call
calls
them
them Twinkies? The smallest unit. Show of hands. What do you need?
We need a B.
B. There you go. Anyone call the smallest unit a Twinkie? Anyone ever tried deep fried Twinkies?
BAC.
Anyone? Deep fried Twinkies? Turns out they're good for you. Not sure about that. Don't take health advice from me.
Let's do BCA.
B, C. There we go. Now, you can lay this in 2 different patterns, herringbone and running bond. What are we doing here?
Let's do ABC. We're doing a running bond kind of in an L shape.
Okay, which is kind of cool for this small area. So stoops, steps, landings, and concrete overlays around pools. What do you need?
C.
C.
B.
B. Every time you say C, it reminds me of my high school. We need a D unit.
Let's do BB.
BB. Yes, sir. Quick to lay, smooth texture, traditional chamfer, full nosed.
BCA.
B, C. Okay. It's a good rhythm to get in, calling them out by size. Oh, sorry, sir.
It's okay.
Calling them out by size. We could tap that in just a little bit.
Yep.
Now, because these have no spacer bar and they're very tight, Rick.
Do C.
See? Because they're very tight, what are we going to do?
A B.
A B? What are we going to do in terms of joint fill? Because there's no space for the joint, right?
We would recommend a post-construction wash and seal for this product, just to try to get good runoff and get that water out of there.
And to keep organics and moss and mold. Everybody give Rick Bischoff a round of applause.